Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, enjoying some Christmas festivities with the family in beautiful but crisp Connecticut. So why don't you grab a cup of coffee and pull up a chair and let's chat about the continued legacy media implosion over at MSNBC. Chris Hayes, what do you say about somebody like this? I think he's desperately trying to replace Mr. Potato Head himself, Brian Stelter, for being the most odiously woke leftist anchor on television. That's certainly hard to do, but Hayes is giving Stelter a run for his money. It all goes back to the recent revelation that Long Island Representative-elect George Santos came clean the other day that he lied on the campaign trail about his education and work experience. Santos is a Republican, and he basically lied in order to win his election. He admitted that. But here's the key. He's refusing to resign. He's refusing to take seriously the howls of moral superiority coming from the Democrats, who of course have absolutely no problem with lying as long as it serves their political interests, as we'll find out in a moment. But regardless, the incessantly virtue-signaling, anti-Trump deranged Jonah Goldberg tweeted this out, quote, "I think Santos is a total embarrassment and has no place in public life." But a lot of folks on this site dinging him seem to have forgotten how much both the current president and his predecessor embellished about their accomplishments. Well, for some reason, Chris Hayes wanted to join a party he wasn't invited to, and he chimed in with this. And keep in mind, gang, this is not the Babylon Bee. This is a real so-called journalist giving a real so-called commentary on Goldberg's tweet. Quote, "I think there's a line between normal politician BSing and con man serial lying, and he's got infractions on either side of that line. I mean, it would have been a pretty big deal if it turned out Joe Biden didn't actually have a law degree." Now, again, keep in mind, this is a supposedly legitimate representative of the legacy media. And he actually defended, he qualified, he positively framed Joe Biden's history of blatant lying, which again, we're going to see for ourselves in just a bit. But take a look at some of the response that Hayes got on Twitter. This is from T. Beckett Adams. Sure, Biden lied about being the first in his family to go to college. He lied about his scholarship. He lied about finishing in the top half of his class. He lied about having 3 undergrad degrees, and he lied about being a professor. But by God, the law degree is real. That's right, Chris. Hey, Chris, thank you. You've identified the key criterion for determining the line between normal politician BSing and con man serial lying. What will we do without you? Luke Thompson also took issue with Chris Hayes' clear double standard, tweeting out, quote, "Biden lies about the most important moments in his life literally all the time, from the tragic death of his daughter and his first wife to the number of grandchildren he has. He lies incessantly about his education. Find something biographical he doesn't lie about. Hell, he's not even Irish." Another tweeter pointed out, quote, "Con man serial lying is literally who Joe Biden is. He says he played football in college, was in the military. His son died in Iraq. He got arrested meeting Nelson Mandela, got arrested for supporting desegregation, even though he actually argued for segregation. He said he beat up Corn Pop. Good old freaking Corn Pop. Yeah, and on top of it all, look, I know Chris Hayes is young. He's youthful and inexperienced, so I don't fault him for not remembering this back from 1988.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
I mean, this is why no one outside of the D.C. Beltway takes Joe Biden seriously. I mean, the guy is an absolute clown. He's an unintentionally self-deprecating clown. But ironically, Chris Hayes' comments are revealing precisely who the real clown is. You're not going to want to miss this. But first, gang, this year, my family and I have decided to declare 2023 as the year of family preparedness in the Turley household. It's true. This is going to be the year that I'm officially going to cover all the bases, which includes food storage, survival kits, and everything my family needs to make sure that we will survive whatever this upcoming year throws at us. I recently interviewed TJ Johnson, the founder and CEO of Ready Project. And if you haven't watched that interview, you've got it, gang. I'll link it down below for you to check out. It's an interview that will single-handedly tell you why I am placing preparedness at the top of my list. I invite you to join me this year in my resolution of family preparedness and take the immediate steps to get yourself and your family prepared today as you can eat tomorrow. And if you act now, you get to take advantage of Ready Project's special offer just for my listeners with huge limited time savings. So don't wait. Click on that link below to learn more about my plan and what I'm doing to make sure my family has all the emergency essentials that'll be needed. This is not one of those cases where you ever want to hear me say, hey guys, I told you so. Join me, take action, click below, and let's get our families prepared together for 2023. So what's the irony in all of this? Well, the irony, of course, is that Chris Hayes, as a shameless member of the lamestream media, is part of an industry that has fully embraced far-left advocacy journalism on the one hand, all the while maintaining that they remain impartial and objective reporters on the other. Chris Hayes and the legacy media embody what we might call a performative contradiction. They're trying to be two mutually exclusive things at the very same time. So they're trying to convince their dwindling audience that they are objectively reliable mediators of information. Like when CNN's Don Lemon shocked Stephen Colbert by telling him that he didn't think CNN was liberal. Do you remember that? They just reported the facts. They're claiming to be objective, reliable mediators of information on the one hand, all the while, at the same time, they practice what's called advocacy journalism, which is the explicit rejection of objectivity in journalism. Advocacy journalism begins with the partisan narrative or the frame that they want to advance, and then the so-called reporters select and fit the supposed facts into that frame. So advocacy journalism inevitably commits the fallacy known as confirmation bias, where information data are in effect weaponized to support one's partisan sentiments. So the irony in all of this is that Chris Hayes and MSNBC and the legacy media as a whole are blatantly and fallaciously biased, all as they maintain that their objectivity and impartiality is beyond reproach. In other words, they, the legacy media, are the con man serial liars. This is why no one takes them seriously anymore. The vast majority of the population takes Hayes no more seriously than they take Biden, which is yet another indicator that the days of the serial lying legacy media are indeed coming to an end. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You'll definitely want to check out my latest video on Kari Lake scoring a major legal victory, all as the effort to recall Katie Hobbs has begun. You're going to absolutely love it, so make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.